Hi everyone, welcome to episode 5 of Sunday Stitches. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, my name's Amanda and every Sunday I pop out a little episode of any updates on my knitting, crochet, spinning or weaving or any other fibre arts projects that I may have been working on that week. So, how are we all? This week it has absolutely flown by for me. I've had a really productive week knitting wise, however, but I just cannot seem to catch up with the fact that we're so close to Christmas. I don't know about you, but I still haven't put up my Christmas tree or any decorations. In fact, they are still in the garage, in the loft of the garage, and I haven't even got them down to sort them out. So I'm feeling quite behind that way. However, yesterday I did manage to pop to Chester and do my Christmas shopping. So I think I've managed to get everything. I just have to wrap it. So that's the plan for next week. I must do that. And on Wednesday, my youngest daughter is coming back home from university. So I need to get her room ready. And then a few days after that, after she's back, my eldest daughter and her boyfriend are back home for Christmas. So I need to get the house organised. And also Christmas Eve, my mum's coming over and she's staying with me for a few days. So it's going to be a busy time and I need to get things organised, which I am very, very unorganised this year, which is not like me. Normally way before the beginning of December, I normally have everybody's presents bought, wrapped and organised, and my tree would have been up 1st of December. So that's how far behind I'm actually running. And to be honest, I don't know about you, but I'm not really feeling Christmassy at the moment at all. So I don't quite know what's wrong with me this year. I really need to step it up, and yeah, I really need to find my Christmas spirit and get moving. So I'm sure with the girls being home next week, that's going to help me, inspire me to put the tree up and the decorations up. So yeah, hopefully next week I will find my Christmas spirit and put my Christmas tree up and wrap the presents and get organised. So back to the podcast. What do I have to show you today? I actually have 3 finished items to show you. So I'm really happy. As I say, although it's been a really busy week and time seems to be running away with me, I do feel that I have had a really fun knitting week. It has to be said. I've really enjoyed my knitting. I've gone off course slightly with what I had planned to knit, but sometimes it just works out well that way, and it has. So I cannot wait to share with you my finished objects. The first one, I'm just going to have a sip of coffee. I'm filming this really quickly before I head off to work. So I say the week has passed me by. It is now Saturday and I've got to head off to work, and I'm working tomorrow, and I've got to get this podcast made and edited and uploaded, which can sometimes take a while. So yeah, I really need to finish this before I head off to work. So I'm just having my morning coffee and get this podcast done so I can get it edited and uploaded to YouTube ready for Sunday for you. So let me start with finished project number 1, which if you've been watching my previous episodes, you're going to recognise this, is the gift knit jumper I was doing. So this is the flax sweater. What I'll do is I'll put some camera roll in a minute to show it a little bit better because it's quite hard to hold up. I have blocked this, however it is kind of rolling again, so I am actually going to give it an extra block. So I'll explain how I blocked this in a moment, because I block it differently to how I blocked this one. Oh yeah, that's what else I've done this week. Before I move on to that one again, I should just say I actually managed to find time to wash and block my jumper, and I'm really, really happy with how it's come out. I really, really wanted to wear it Christmas shopping yesterday, and it had just about dried enough to wear it. I actually finished drying it on the heated area, and however, I hadn't woven in my ends, so I wore a different jumper on the way, sewn in my ends on the way to Chester, and then managed to finish it in time so I could pop it on and wear it for Christmas shopping. So it kept me lovely and warm. I was so warm. I could hear people, they were so cold, and I was lovely and toasty in my lovely Welsh wool jumper. So I was so happy that I managed to finish it in time. In fact, I was so warm I didn't even need a scarf with it. I always wear a scarf. If you know me from the shop, 99.9% of the time I always have a scarf on. I just love wearing them. I find them really cozy and they do keep you really warm. However, yesterday I just didn't need a scarf. I was warm enough just with my wool jumper and my wool coat, and that was enough for me. So moving back onto the jumper, sorry, digress slightly there. So moving back onto the jumper, I blocked this one slightly differently to this one due to the instructions on the label. However, I don't think I like the blocking process very much. It hasn't blocked it enough for me. It's curling back over the sleeves. Maybe you can't quite see it here. There we go. So that should be lying like this. So I'm going to reblock it the way I would normally block it. So I'll explain what I've used and how I've blocked it. So for this jumper, for the gift knit jumper, I should just say this is the flax sweater as well. So this is also the flax sweater which I adjusted. This is the flax sweater to the original pattern. I altered the pattern for this one. So this is the original flax sweater with the garter stitch running down the sleeves. I made this in the size small medium, and I did the crop version, which you'll probably be able to see better in the camera roll that I'll pop in. So yeah, this is the small medium, and it worked out really, really well. I used the James C. Brett Chunky Marble. Now the pattern is available for a 4-ply weight, double knit or an Aran, not a chunky. So I just did my gauge swatch and I managed to get gauge using the 4.5mm needle, and it's worked out perfectly. Now the other reason why I blocked this one differently to the gift knit jumper is because this isn't a wool, this is a 100% acrylic, and it's in the colourway MC9. So you can see it's this lovely natural stone colour, which the recipient of the jumper needs it to be acrylic, and I know they like this colourway. So that was my reasoning for choosing this. And the blocking instructions for this say to lay it flat on a towel, which I did, and then lay a damp towel over the top of it for 24 hours, which I did. And when I originally took the towel off to leave it to dry, it looked okay. But as it's dried, it started to curl a little bit. So I'm going to block it again. I've got enough time to block it and let it dry. So I'm going to block it the same as I do this one, which is to immerse it in the wool wash. And I'm going to leave it to soak for around 20 minutes, half an hour. And then I'm going to rinse it, and then I'm going to pin it out and just leave it to dry. And then I should just finish it off on the heated area, because that seems to work really, really well for blocking my jumpers. So yeah, just laying a damp towel across it for 24 hours and then letting it dry hasn't really blocked it as I would like. So I'm going to go to my traditional method of blocking and just immerse it in a wool wash, in a wool soak, and say just leave it, and then pin it out and block it that way. And hopefully it will look a little bit better after blocking. I mean, it's not bad and it looks lovely on. I have tried it on and it looks lovely when it's on. It's just I would like these sleeves to lie a little bit flatter. The body's fine, and you know, the neckline and the hem is okay. It's just these sleeves that I'm not quite happy with to gift it as they are. So that I need to get done. I should probably do that this evening to give it enough time to dry. So I don't think there's anything else to say on that one. If you are allergic to wool or you can't wear wool and you want to make the flax sweater, then this is a really, really good alternative. And it's an inexpensive yarn as well. You get 200 gram balls. So yeah, it works out really, really well. I think I had 3 balls to make this one, and that's what I've got left over. So I could easily make a pair of gloves or a matching hat, you know, out of that, I think. So yeah, really good value. So a very inexpensive way to make a jumper, or if you're learning to knit and you want to make your very first jumper, that's a really, really good option if you're worried about wasting yarn. So there we go. James C. Brett Marble. It's a good option following the Aran pattern if you can get gauge. So moving on, excuse me, I'm just gonna have a sip of my coffee. My voice is going. I hope I'm not coming down with a cold. That would be typical. Every Christmas I get a cold over Christmas. I can be fine all year through, and then come Christmas I come down with a really heavy cold. So hopefully that's not happening now. So the next two finished objects I'm really excited about. These were very unexpected knits for me. I had not planned to knit either of these this week. They have been on my radar to knit possibly early next year. However, sometimes you just get the urge to cast it on and go with it, and I'm so glad I did, because these two knits are both nostalgic knits for me. I had both of these as a child, and they bring back really fun memories and really happy memories. So I cast them on and I finished them both in no time at all. So if you still need to do any Christmas gift knits, these two projects coming up are perfect for that. These two are for me, however. I have had a request from my youngest daughter that she would like me to knit one of these. She hasn't seen the other one yet, so she may request both of these knits actually, but I should show you what they are. So first of all, if you've been watching the previous episodes, you may remember me mentioning that I really wanted to make a pair of mittens with a cord running through my coat so they don't get lost. So like when you're a child, so I wanted to make a pair of mittens, then crochet a cord between the two mittens and then thread them through my coat so that when I'm on the dog walk I can just slip my hands out and put them back in, or if I'm shopping I can just pay at the counter without having to keep taking gloves off, bundling them up, trying to put them in my pocket. I have lost one glove, which is why I got the idea of doing this already, and I'd only had this pair of gloves for a week and I'd lost one of them already. I cannot find it anywhere. So I've retraced my steps around the village and I can't find it. So that in itself inspired this knit earlier than I had planned. So here I have my mittens, which I am absolutely delighted with. So these are my mittens, and as you can see I have attached a crochet cord and I thread them through and they hang through the sleeves of my coat perfectly. So I'll pop a little image in to show you that, and I should just get the ball band to tell you the yarn I used. So these are made in a pure wool in the natural brown colour, and it's quite on the rustic side, but not too rustic that they're itchy. They don't itch me at all. So but you can just see, I think on here, pick up they are a little bit, the wool is slightly rustic. So the pattern for these are on the Tin Can Knits app, and these are called the World's Simplest Mittens, and they really are the world's simplest mittens. These work up so quickly, and even if you're a beginner knitter, I'm sure you would be able to manage these mittens. And they have lots of different sizes, from toddler, ladies, small, medium, large, men's. You could make a pair for every member of the family, and you would never ever lose a pair of gloves again, because you could just pop the little cord on. Yeah, I'm not sure how my husband would feel about that, but I don't think he would want a pair with a cord on. So I have made these, the world's simplest mittens, using so this is Ingworth and Black Welsh Mountain, there we go, from Black Sheep. And let's say it's a natural colour, it's slightly rustic yarn, which doesn't bother me. It's not itchy at all, but it is slightly on the rustic side. So a lovely quick knit if you're looking for that last minute gift knit, perfect. Or if like me you're always managing to lose a glove, perfect solution. And just crochet, just a simple crochet cord, and that will stop you losing them. So really happy with these, and they are so warm. Again, You know, I had these strung through my coat yesterday whilst I was shopping, and I could pop them on and then just pop them off when I needed to pay for things, and they're just so toasty and warm. It's lovely. In fact, I got too warm with them on at some point. I just took them off, and it was great because then they could just dangle at the sleeves of my coat, and I managed to come home with a pair of gloves. Yay! Win-win. So really happy with these. So a great knit. Now, the next finished objects I've got to show you, you have to promise not to laugh because this is not going to be for everybody. But this again is another nostalgic knit. So as a child, some of you may have had one too. In fact, I'll show you rather than tell you. But you have to promise not to laugh. And I'm not going to put it on now because I'm heading off to work in a moment. But I will put some clips in of me wearing it. Are you ready? So I made the folklore hood. Can you see? So you pop it on and you instantly have a little hood and like a mini scarf, if you like. So I said I'll pop a clip in so it will show it up a little bit better. But this is just fantastic. When I'm walking the dog early morning or late at night and it's really cold, this is just perfect. This has been in my Ravelry to knit for some time. I follow Thread and Yarn's podcast, and I love the things she makes, and she designs clothing and knitwear, and this is one of her designs. So it's on Ravelry, Thread and Yarn, and this is her own design. This is the folklore hood. I can just pop it on and it acts as a lovely hat, but it also acts as that lovely warmth of a scarf around my neck. But the great thing is that you'll see from the clip, it's quite fitted so it doesn't move, which means that I can put my hood up on my coat and I haven't got the bulk of a hat because it's very warm because it's made of pure wool, but it isn't bulky. So it means I have a lovely warm layer against my head to keep the heat in. Then I can put my hood up, my waterproof hood, and I'm done. I'm warm, I'm dry. I haven't got the bulk of a hat. I can hear better because it's not as thick as my fleece lined hats. It's just perfect for me. So I have made this in the Cambrian Welsh wool in the colourway Harbour. So this is a DK weight yarn. The pattern calls for a DK weight. So I use this one this is the colourway Harbour. So you can see, lovely colour. I've been wanting to make something with this colour for a while and I haven't quite decided what I was going to make with it. And then when I decided I was going to cast on the folklore hood, I knew this was going to be the colour. Yeah, so that is my third finished object for this week. Two very unexpected cast-ons, and I'm so pleased I managed to get them both finished. So really happy with that as well. So if you're looking for another quick Christmas gift knit, then this is ideal. So this is knit up on 4mm needles in double knit, and then just go down to 3.5 for the ribbon. And again, if you're a beginner, I'm sure you can follow the pattern. The pattern is written so clearly, and there's video instructions if you need it as well. But yeah, it's just a lovely knit, this one. And my youngest daughter, so she's in uni and she's seen this and she wants me to make her one in the pink. So yeah, that's going to be a cast on for next week. So that won't take me very long to have that made. She can have that ready for Christmas. So yeah, really happy with my two nostalgic knits. So yeah, let me know if you remember having these as a child as well, and if it's something that would be on your list to make. But I think they're just really fun. Yeah, so yeah, happy with those. So what else do I have to show you today? So I do have a couple of works in progress. So one of them, I do have another finished object actually. bear with, I'll see if I can find it quickly because it's blocking. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so these are actually still on the blocking board. Now, one of these you would have seen finished, which was the Anne of Green Gables dishcloth. So you can see that on the top there. So I'm just going to take that one off because I managed to finish the Secret Garden inspired dishcloth as well. Oops, you just hear the pins falling out. So let me just take that one out. So that's the Anne of Green Gables dishcloth that I showed you. So I've just been blocking these, and I managed to finish the Secret Garden. And these patterns are from the kitchen sink shop on Ravelry if you're interested. And she has lots and lots of dishcloth patterns. This is from the 2022 collection inspired by different books, which I really, really like. So I say this was from the Anne of Green Gables, and this one is the Secret Garden dishcloth. I'm really, really happy. So they're nearly dry. I've just been blocking them because they're 100% cotton. They just curled a little bit, and I know they're going to get wet when I'm using them, but I just wanted to block them and have them all nice and neat before I do use them. So that is the Secret Garden. So you can buy these patterns individually if you just like one or two of them. However, I just decided to buy the whole collection, the whole 2022 collection, and then I'm hoping to have them all made up and in my drawer, and then each one reminds me of the lovely books. Again, it's a very nostalgic knit week, I think, isn't it? Because I'll say this is Anne of Green Gables, which I absolutely love, and I love Secret Garden as well. So yeah, all in all, it is working out to be a very nostalgic knit week. So yeah, really happy with those. And the only little addition I've added to them is this crochet chain here, just to add a little hook onto them so I can just hang them up when I'm using them. But yeah, really happy. So they're nearly dry now, so they can be ready to pop in the drawer this week. So the next dishcloth that I'm working on is the Meg's dress from Little Women. However, I've not had a chance to cast that on yet because I got sidetracked with the folklore hood and the mittens. So again, that's another cast on for this week that I have planned. But yeah, so I've nearly forgot to show you those. But yeah, I managed to finish the Secret Garden dishcloth as well. So again, a really good last minute knit for gift. If you're looking for gift knits, these work up very quickly as well. As I said before, you could use them as dishcloth or face cloth and put them with a handmade bar of soap. Would make a fabulous gift. So yeah, lovely, really happy with those. Okay, and those I've made using 100% cotton. And these are from my stash. I've got a really big cotton stash that I need to use up, which is what originally inspired me to make dishcloths, although I do need dishcloths. And this is the James C. Brett 100% cotton. Yeah, and I love the James C. Brett cotton. The quality of this is lovely. It doesn't split. I know people that have made jumpers in this as well, and it works up beautifully. So if you're looking for a really good high quality cotton, then I do recommend the James C. Brett cotton. And they have a whole array of colours, beautiful, beautiful colours, very modern colours as well. So yeah, if you're looking for a good cotton, then I do recommend that one. But you can use any cotton from your stash, would work out perfectly. I have also been working on my socks this week. So I managed to cast on the second frosty sock. So this is the frosty morning colourway. And then the contrast is just a odd skein of terracotta that I had in my stash. So this, if you haven't seen it before, is the first sock that I completed. So you can see the gorgeous, gorgeous frosty morning colourway, and then the contrast of the terracotta for the toes. And then I just did the 2 rows of the beginning of the rib and then the 2 bottom rows here. So I think that works out really, really nicely. It was just a little odd skein. I think it's 20 grams. So I wasn't exactly sure if I would get the heels done in it as well. So I just opted for the contrast toes and the trimming of the cuff, top and bottom, and I think it's worked out really well. So I'm really pleased that I've managed to cast on the second sock, so we won't have second sock syndrome, and this will be made up hopefully this week as well. So far I've just cast on my 60 stitches for this sock, and I've done the first 2 rows with the contrast and the last 2 rows in the contrast, so I'm doing a 20 row rib, and then I'm just going on to do my 70 rows for the leg. So yeah, happy I managed to cast that on as well. So I have had a really productive week knitting wise, although it has gone so fast. So you can probably see why I've not got any decorations or tree up, because I've just been too busy knitting. I keep getting sidetracked with different projects, and I have got sidetracked with one more project, which is the Christmas stocking kit that I ordered and I showed you in the last episode. So if you are new here and you want to catch up on any of my previous episodes, if you just go to my playlist and look for Sunday Stitches, you can watch from the very beginning there, if you're wondering what I've been working on and what I'm talking about. So for those of you that didn't see it last week, I'll just quickly show you. So I am working on this Christmas stocking here. So my plan is to do a lot more colour work in 2025, and I stumbled across this pattern a few weeks ago, and not only was it colour work, but it also included beadwork. So I don't know if it shows, so you can see all this here is all beadwork, and across the top here, and there's some more lower down, and I have never done any beadwork incorporated with my knitting before, so I thought this was a perfect opportunity for me to practice my colour work and also learn some beadwork within the knitting, which I'm really excited to learn. So I managed to actually cast this on this week, and I'm really pleased with the progress that I've made so far. I'm halfway through a row, and I'll explain why. So I'm going to have to hold this. I didn't bring my needle toppers. So the reason being, I was working on it late in bed the other night, and I left my needle toppers downstairs. So I'm going to show you how far I've got. So there you can just see I cast it on. This little edge here, when it's finished, is going to fold over and give a lovely little picot edge to the top of the stocking. And then I worked a bit further down, so this is the top of the stocking working down, and this is my very first row of beadwork, and it came out really well. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. So that's my first row of beadwork, and then we work down into the first, I'm just starting the first chart here, and the reason I have started a row and stopped here is because it calls for more beads to be added. So you can see I managed to add the first bead on here. However, the process for adding the beads on this part here to this part in the chart that I'm working from now is a completely different process. So for this first part here, the stocking is actually going to be that way up. So for the first beads here that had to be added on, you thread them onto your wall first of all, and then you add the beads in as you're knitting, which I won't describe the whole process, but so that's one technique that you have to use to add your beads on. So I was merrily knitting away, and I couldn't wait to start the colour work, which I'm really enjoying. So I started the colour work, and there's more beads coming up. However, the beads are attached in a completely different way going forward for some parts of this stocking, which I didn't realise, and I need a really fine, well, there's 2 methods of adding the beads on at this point here that I'm working on. So they're not done in the same way, they're not added into the colour work the same way as they are here. So you use a different method, and you have 2 options of doing this. One is with a crochet hook, which has to be smaller than 0.75mm, or you can use a piece of wire or dental floss. So I didn't have a crochet hook that small, so the smallest one I had a 0.9 was my smallest one in my hook collection. So I tried it with that, and the bead fit on the hook, but it just wouldn't fit the yarn and then hook the bead through. So I tried using the dental floss and it worked. As you can see, it's in and it looks lovely, but my goodness me, that was so time consuming. So halfway through the row, well, not even halfway, just at the bead. So just after I'd done the first bead using the dental floss method, I decided no, there was no way I was going to continue using that method for all the rest of the beadwork in the stocking, where it requires you to use either your crochet hook or your dental floss. No, so I stopped there and I ordered myself a 0.5 crochet hook, and I haven't opened it. It arrived yesterday when I was out, so I've not tested it out yet, but this should enable me to do the quicker process, which is with the crochet hook, rather than having to thread the dental floss through the stitch, then thread it through the bead, then thread the bead through, take the dental floss. Oh, it's just such a faff. It was not for me. So I'm going to try the crochet hook method, which I think is going to be a lot faster, and just make, there's so much beadwork during the stocking that I've opted to buy a crochet hook and use that instead. So hopefully I can crack on with that this week as well, because this colour work gets quite addictive. Once you start, I just wanted to carry on. I was so frustrated that I just couldn't add the beads in. And if you've not done any beadwork with the knitting before, I felt quite apprehensive about this and was worried I wouldn't be able to manage it. But honestly, it's not as hard as you think it's going to be. It's actually really good fun. And as I say, it did get quite addictive and I really, really wanted to carry on, but I just was not going to use that method for this section here. So the method that you use to begin with is really easy, because you slip the beads onto your yarn first and then just hook them. Your method of hooking them round when you're knitting, easy and straightforward. But no, not the dental floss method of attaching the beads, was not for me. So hopefully I can crack on and make some more progress on the stocking as well this week, which will be great. But it is going to be a very, very busy week, so I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself to get much done this week. If I get a couple of rows done this week, I think that will be a success with everything that's going on. So yeah, I do have to get both rooms ready, and I have to get a Christmas tree up, and I have to start feeling festive and get in the Christmas spirit. So I think I need to do that before I pick up my needles, start anything else, to be honest. So I still have my sock collection here that I need to put the heels in. Where are they? There we go. So yeah, I need to work on this lovely pile of socks, and these are my toe up socks that I've done, and I just need to put the afterthought heel in, and I've got 3 pairs of those that I haven't touched, which I was hoping these podcasts would give me the motivation to get these done quite quickly, but I have been sidetracked with other projects. But I will get them done over Christmas, so definitely in the new year I will be able to show you 3 finished toe up afterthought heel socks complete. So yeah, just need to do those, and aren't they lovely? These I really need to do quite quickly, because these are my Christmas socks. I really want to finish those. These are more my summer pair because they are bamboo, so not overly rushed those. These were my autumn socks, which has kind of passed me by, so I'll get those ready for next autumn. So, but these ones are first on my list because these are my lovely Christmas colourway from West Yorkshire Spinners, and I really want to get those finished. So yeah, hopefully get those done, and I promise to show you those at the beginning of next year. There we go, it's a promise. So get those done. So I think I'm going to wrap this up for today now, because I really need to get ready for work. And yeah, hopefully I think it's going to be a busy weekend again, which will be great. So have an amazing week. Happy knitting, crochet, spinning, whatever you're working on, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me for episode 5 of Sunday Stitches. My name's Amanda if you're new here, and every Sunday I pop out a little video update of what I've been working on during the week. That could be knitting, spinning, crochet, weaving, or any other fibre related craft that I'm working on this